And in that preparation, you'll slowly, this is the most important part of the message. We never want to need things or need opportunities, need relationships, need people so much that we think that it adds to us. When you work in that mindset, in that framework, you're saying to yourself you're deficient in something. You're saying to yourself that you don't have enough of something, that you need it from an external source that's not God. Waiting season is a gift because it's extra time to prepare. Like, when you're in a season of waiting and you're not jumping into things, it's actually a true blessing, because then when you go into the things, you are well equipped and prepared. And we see this with David being a shepherd boy, right? And what's really interesting about David is that when the prophet appointed him, he goes back to being a shepherd boy after, meaning, like, just because he was titled king, it didn't change the fact that at the moment he was still the shepherd. And he went back to what God called him to, and did not leave that position until he felt like God was telling him to move. And I think it's like really beautiful that sometimes it's okay to be in this season, because what you can do in that time is prepare extra, be extra prepared. Like, I don't know if any of you were like me. For myself, when I was in school, I'd love to, let's say I had a test on like Thursday and they pushed it to Friday. I'm like, yes, I have an extra day to prepare. And like for some people, they'd be like, oh, I just want to get it over with. I just want to go through it. I want to take it. And what about having an extra day to prepare? And that could look like, what about having an extra week, few months, a year? And in that preparation, you'll slowly, this is the most important part of the message. We never want to need things or need opportunities, need relationships, need people so much that we think that it adds to us. When you work in that mindset, in that framework, you're saying to yourself you're deficient in something. You're saying to yourself that you don't have enough of something, that you need it from an external source that's not God. And so let's talk about relationships, like whether that's just this love and intimacy that you don't feel in your life and you're not getting. That person can't always fulfill that, and you have to be mindful of it. Yes, relationships are about love and intimacy, but they're also a lot about other things, right? And a lot of responsibility. Same thing with like your business. So those are two things in my life that I'm like kind of like wrapping my head around, like relationships and business. And your business, like there's a lot I need to prepare for. I'm speaking for myself. Like, I have a bunch of clients now that I need to work on and nurture before I start doing like automated workshops, automated classes, and all these things. And there's just the beauty of living in the season that you're in and appreciating it, instead of always like saying, okay, what's next, God? What's next, God? When is my time? When is my season? When is my appointed time? And your appointed time will happen when you're not actively seeking it. It'll happen when you already prepared and the door just opens for you, because you are ready to walk in it, knowing that this isn't a season you're craving, that you depend on. It's a season that you're equipped for. And even if you walk in it or not, you're still good. You still have God on your side, you still have God in your heart. You know that whatever God has called you to do, He is putting you there in a specific time, in a specific place on purpose. There's so much you can do in a season of waiting. Let's say you're waiting for a specific, promotion, or you're waiting for a specific yes. In the meantime, you can work in other areas of your life that aren't up to par. So let's say you feel like in terms of job, you do have all the qualifications and you are working on it. Okay, well, have you ever spent time working on your hobbies? Have you ever spent time spending more time with your loved ones? Like, you can still grow in your waiting season. That's for a specific part of your life. You can grow in other areas of your life, if you know what I'm saying, right? So let's say I'm a pro athlete. In my next season, I'm waiting to be called by a team to join a specific team. I've trained and I'm in my rest season actually, but I'm ready for this next season. In this season, I can spend time learning how to cook well, learning how to, spending more time with my friends, spending more time with my family, because I know I'm not going to have enough time later. Things like that. I don't want to get off a tangent, but yeah, just really appreciate the season you're in, because once you're in the new season and it's like fast paced maybe, and like maybe things are like a little bit like more than you expected, and you're gonna wish that this season you waited well. so that you don't feel that way there, that you feel like I'm prepared to tackle this because I waited well. And I waited without anxiety, without pressure, without expectation. I waited peacefully, allowing myself to receive whatever God had for me to receive. So like, we don't like to wait unless it fits our convenience. So an analogy we can think of is when a woman is pregnant, she has to wait 9 months in order for that baby to come out well and healthy. She's not going to rush the process and be like in 3 months, like, God, take this baby out of me. No, because that baby will be premature and not be able to survive. In the same way, like when something so beautiful is happening in your life, maybe you're praying for a person to be in your life, and maybe you're praying for a job opportunity or to travel somewhere, to move, and just know that there's so much nurturing that needs to be done within you and the other person or other people connected to what you're praying for. That's a big thing. Like whatever you're praying for, a lot of other people may be connected to it. It's not just about you. And that really like kind of blew my mind, because I'm like, it's not about me only what I'm praying for. Just take that into perspective. It's not all about you. Things in life that God has for you is about impact and spreading his love and glory through other people. If it's for the kingdom, which it should be if you're praying for it, then it's going to take time because it involves more than just you. So yeah, don't be afraid to just be present, do what you need to do, and nurture the relationships around you, nurture your character. If you have flaws that you need to work on and need to build your character, do that gracefully and excitedly, and your time will come when you're prepared and when you're not so desperate for it. It'll come at the right time, and when God knows that you can handle this, whether or not you're guaranteed it. Like you don't need it to add to you, right? And he'll give it to you. All right, so I hope that was encouraging, and yeah, let's wait well. All right, bye.